Hey guys, y'all come with us on our journey today. So what are we doing today? Well, y'all remember those potatoes we planted a while back? We are finally going to harvest them. So between the wrist being broke and all of the rest of the crops and everything, we just haven't gotten to them. And they are definitely ready to be harvested. So let me show you. Alright, so we've already harvested one plant and we got all those potatoes from it. This is the one space that I have dug up already. But guys, I think the potatoes have died back, don't you? I mean, there's not hardly anything left alive in there even. So maybe we ought not get so hasty on our harvesting, because this is one potato plant. And there are 4, 5, 6, 7 decent sized potatoes. A couple of them are bigger than the rest, but let me show you. Look here, guys. So these are some decent sized potatoes. I mean, even that one's okay. But look at that. Isn't that great? I mean, it's awesome. All right, so y'all stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to harvest. Alright guys, so we have a wheelbarrow over here that I know you can't see, but I'm going to shovel the dirt into it as I go through here and take out stuff. Also, I am just rolling back the hay. That gets it out of the way. I had hoped that potatoes would grow up in the hay, but they did not. So, nothing ventured, nothing gained, and at this point nothing was lost either, because I never had to water these things all season long. So that was definitely a plus. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and remove the dirt from the first pile that I worked on. Alright, now let me get this out to where I have a place to put the new dirt. Because I'm just going to work down the row from here, one potato plant at a time, and I staggered them so I'll know where each one is. The key to potatoes is soft dirt. Alright, now let's start seeing what we got in the next spot. And right off the bat, I have a potato. It's a little one, but it's better than no potato, right? So we're going to keep on pulling back the dirt. And I do this by hand, so, you know, that way I don't scratch up the potatoes. This dirt is loose enough. I could, if I wanted to, use a hand trowel or something like that. But I'm just going to do it with my hands today. Mainly because I haven't gotten to use my hands. And we are just taking it easy with the wrist, of course. I don't think there's going to be anything in the corner, because this corner was not planted on this side. So mostly I'm just moving dirt to where I'll have a place to put dirt from the next spot. Alright, now we're going to start getting into the spot where the potato was. Alright, so second potato, I'm not finding anything. So the second potato didn't do well. So that one potato from a moment ago must have been from the other potato. Alright, let me go further back. Oh, and further back, we find a potato. So basically, y'all, put on your gloves, get out here and dig. Being very careful not to scuff your potatoes up. Alright, let me scoop a little dirt off there, loosen it. And look at there. All this is from the spot for this second potato. Lord, tomatoes. Cannot believe I said that. Alright guys, so this is the harvest from the second potato plant. Voila, all that from one potato. Isn't that great? So I'm going to add that to the pile here, and I'm going to remove some dirt again. I'm actually going to put potatoes in a basket. And the itty bitty ones I just put in the planting pot. That way I can keep up with them and we can actually use them in some things. I got a stir fry I'm cooking tonight. Alright, now we're going to push all that dirt to the front so that I can keep on going. And we are at the third place for potatoes now. Right off the bat, potatoes. Now those should not be there because that should still be part of the first plant right here, because I planted one here and one here. So this spot is from one of these potatoes right here, because there wasn't one right here. So all the potatoes you see being harvested right now are still from just two potato plants. So I'd say we had a good harvest this year. Whoops, I just threw away a potato, guys. Hold on. And that's why I'm doing it by hand. You can miss so much using a shovel and moving bigger areas of dirt. I want to save all the little ones too, just to know what my harvest actually was. Alright, that may be it for those first two potatoes. Alright, total harvest for 2 plants. Well, there we go. Pretty cool, isn't it? Total harvest. Alright guys, I'm not going to make you stay out here and watch me dig all this up. That just would not be nice. So y'all just stay tuned later and we'll show you an update on the entire harvest. We also still have to go harvest the ones that are in the bucket, so the red fingerling potatoes also. Alright, y'all stay tuned. Alright, next up. Whew, guys, it's hot out here already. Next up, we have the red fingerling potatoes. So let's go ahead and start pouring the buckets into something else and seeing what we have down in here, because the only thing left growing is grass, guys. So yeah, it's time to harvest these as well. Now I have a feeling we won't get as good of a harvest on these for some reason. I don't know what my reasoning for that is, but I just don't feel like it's going to be as good of a harvest. So y'all stay tuned. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this bucket into this bucket. This is just an empty bucket so that I don't have dirt just all over the ground. And hopefully there will be some potatoes in here. Hey! I got potatoes. Look there. Leave it. Sister, leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Sister has found a puffball, y'all. Alright, so we have a few potatoes out of this bucket. So let me show you what we grew in. We grew in a 5-gallon bucket that has holes drilled in the bottom, and it was busted also. As you can see, there's that crack right there going across it. You want drainage. That's also why we had it up on top of that plastic pallet, because you don't want water to get trapped by this ring here, because that ring will keep everything from flowing out unless you've got this bucket up on something to keep the water moving. So when you grow it in a bucket, make sure you got it up off the ground to where the water can actually drain out and not just get trapped and sealed inside. But that's what we used, 5-gallon bucket, guys. And out of that bucket, we have this many little red fingerling potatoes. Now that's not a huge harvest, I know, but it's a harvest. And I've never grown red fingerlings before, so that was a first. Isn't that cool? All right, so that's some potatoes. Let me get the next one going. All right, next up, let's see if I can do this one. Okay, we're not having much luck with this one so far. But you know what we do have? We have an abundance of little worms. Hey, potato! And guys, that one's actually growing a new potato. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Alright, so we waited almost too long on these to harvest because they're all sprouting. Which is okay, we can do a second harvest. We can replant some of these and do it again. Because it's not too late in the year, as long as I can harvest before the freeze. And here in central Alabama, that freeze is still a ways off. Lord, how I wish it wasn't. But it is. It's still a ways off. Alright, that's all that's in that one. Whew. So 2 buckets, we got this many potatoes. That many. But, like I said, I think I waited too long to harvest because we're already growing. So I will probably use a few of these for dinner tonight and cut those eyes off and grow some new potatoes. Alright, next bucket, guys. Alright, so I just picked up a potato off the top. I don't know if y'all have heard the phrase, don't eat the green potatoes. But as you can see, that potato is green. Why is it green? Because that is a lot of chlorophyll. And it creates a toxic potato, basically. This one was exposed to the sun. Hence, it was laying on top of the dirt instead of down in the dirt. So that is a potato that you do not want to eat, guys. Anytime you see green on a potato, it's a toxic potato. Look at the worms. Awesome. But guys, this is a prime example of use what you got. So this bucket is all sorts of busted. I don't know if y'all can see that. So when you use it, when you do your garden in a bucket, make sure you're using a container that has drainage, because that's what I did. This is plenty of drainage, and it's a bucket that definitely can't be used for anything else. Wish it could, but it couldn't because it's all busted. So let me pick these potatoes up and put them in the container. Whew. Next bucket, guys. Well, I already see a small problem in this container back here. So let me come show you again. Anytime I pick potatoes off the top, this whole end is green, guys. Y'all see that? The bottom was in the dirt. That's why it's not green on the bottom. But the whole top is green where the sun hit it. Same for these. So don't eat the green potatoes, guys. We will throw those in the compost pile because we definitely don't want anything eating those. Well, guys, that is not a fingerling potato. But they'll eat just the same. There was not many potatoes in that bucket. So I don't know what happened to that one. That's it. It's all potatoes. Alright, this bucket's a little drier than the others. So this one apparently had some great drainage. And yet it didn't have as much drainage as the others at all. That's interesting. Different type of dirt, I guess. Not many in that one either. I think this one is because it didn't have as much water. Not sure why it didn't have the water the rest of them did. Okay. Next up. Now this one actually still has a little life to it, surprisingly. But that may be new potatoes growing because I waited too long to harvest these. Yep. Alright, let's see what we got, guys. Ooh, has some wet dirt in here too. It's exactly what it is. the potatoes are growing. Alright, so this bucket had some new growth started, and this is why. The potatoes had started sprouting already. Yep, and they'd already grown. So we're actually going to plant these back in the bucket. We're going to take the potato off and plant these sprouts back in the bucket. So we're going to start with an empty bucket. This one here. We're going to take some of this really wet dirt and throw the bottom of it. Make sure we didn't plant any other potatoes in there. And I'm just going to take a couple of them sprouts and put them in there while putting more dirt. So I've got it about, that's full. It's about that deep of soil right there. Maybe 2 or 3 inches at the most. Not a lot, as you can see. So we're going to take the sprouts, minus the potatoes, and we're going to start planting them. That one may not grow though, because that one's actually the old plant, so I'm going to throw that one out. So I'm going to throw that one in here, and then I'm going to pick another one, and I'm going to throw it in here. Now I don't want to overload this pot, but these are fingerlings, so I'm going to put a few more in here. Alright, so let me show you what I'm doing with the ones that are attached to potatoes. Okay, you see that right there? I'm just taking and pinching it off. Notice the spot where the plant was. Notice the stem is not broke. It actually is designed to come right off. Okay, so now I'm going to go plant this little sprout here too. Alright, all of them are in here now. And we're going to go ahead and cover up the roots. I'm going to go ahead and put this bucket probably half full. And I can come back later and fill it on up. But I just want to make sure they're going to live first before I cover them all the way up. So in this time we're going to do the hilling as they grow, instead of just letting them grow up through there, because they've already got leaves. So these all have to heal. Now if I was using just the eye of the potato, I would just go ahead and put it down in the bottom of the bucket on top of that first layer of dirt, and I would fill this bucket on up. Yep, that's how I would do it, because I'm not about all the work that makes it almost impossible to do anything. So, let's get our last bucket here. So we had some technical difficulties and I didn't get to show you the complete video to show the whole harvest. Plus we have not harvested all of the long bed of potatoes yet. We did get about a quarter of the way through it. But between time and rain and everything else we have going on, we have just not finished that potato harvest still, believe it or not. But all of the buckets did get harvested. Those few potatoes did get replanted. We are going to replant another set of potatoes very soon. This is August. The potato harvest was filmed last month, probably about mid-July. And we got a good little harvest. We can still plant potatoes here as long as we get them harvested before the freeze. This is central Alabama. We're zone 7B or 8A. It depends on which map you're looking at. Some days I think we're more 8A than we are 7B, but we're kind of like right on that line. So our frost may happen in October, but as far as a real freeze, we probably won't get a real freeze until November or December. And it might just be for a day or two. That'll be about it. So I could probably just throw frost cloth over it while it's growing and let it get a couple more days of growth in. So I may do a video later on in the season and show you our second harvest of potatoes. Again, we're in the South, so we don't get cold. Coming up videos are going to be our 5 top crops for winter, fall, spring garden, basically. For the South, it's more of a fall garden because we don't have a true spring. We have a warm, then summer spell. I mean, we can hit 90s and all in April. So while y'all are all enjoying winter up into April still, we are already almost in summer. So we will probably not do much of a spring garden, but we do fall gardens. So we're going to have a top 5 fall crops to grow, which if you're in our area, those need to be going in the ground pretty soon. You need to be starting those seeds ASAP. Fall crops in the South, you have to start in the house because it's cooler. They don't like the heat of our summer, and it's still hot outside. So now we did plant some spinach in the ground already by seed in one of my raised beds. You'll see that video coming up later. We're also going to do a top 5 crops for summer crops as well later. So y'all stay tuned. If you like what we're doing, make sure that you give us a like. Make sure you comment on our videos. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to see next. Make sure you share our videos. That helps us the most. It gets new eyes on our videos. And we love what we do. That's the main reason for doing it. I love to talk about plants and things. We do a lot of things here. So we have a lot of things that we can talk about and teach. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell. It'll let you know when new videos come out. We have Mark's Fireside Chats on Fridays, and we have Tuesdays for the homesteading videos. Till next time, guys, we'll see you later. Bye.